Greetings, everyone. And unfortunately, welcome back to another late night episode of Surviving Steve Harvey's Mustache. We're surviving Steven's mustache, guys. And this is pure survival. I need y'all to smash that like button, guys. That's what I really need y'all to do. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe and share this video. Because we have to make our communities aware when we're surviving Steve Harvey's mustache, how severe this really is. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was trying to go to bed. We done survived. We done survived Wendy Williams' new interview. We done survived. I'm forgetting. We've been surviving, for all day long. I did 3 surviving series, surviving Diddy. Diddy Glover. And I'm trying to go to sleep. I done had dinner after my last episode, and then I had a nightmare. Now, y'all know Freddy Krueger. Like, if you go to sleep, that's the only time that Freddy Krueger could get you is if you fall asleep. And that's how Steve Harvey's mustache works. So I falls to sleep, and then Steve Harvey's mustache was coming to get me. You know what I mean? And somehow I survived Steven's mustache, and I woke up and I look at the TV and I was back surviving Steve Harvey's mustache. This is very, very, very drastic and severe. Now, Monique and Katt Williams announced that they were going on tour together. And Steven, you are still upset about what Monique said on her on Club Shay Shay, and you're upset with what Katt Williams said on Club Shay Shay. And if none of that was true, why are you still complaining, Steven? Surviving Steve Harvey's mustache. It's going on 1 o'clock in the morning, Steven. And I'm up having nightmares about your mustache. That's a serious mustache. Only person that could go head on with you, mustache to mustache, is Billy D. Williams. Steven, this is just crazy, guys. Steve Harvey is sitting there trying to say that Monique and Katt Williams are both what did he say about them? They trying to beef and they're washed up. They trying to go on tour together now. This is the only reason why you saying that they washed up and they trying to start some comedian beef. You know what I mean? There's never been no beef in comedy. Steven, that's a bull-faced lie. You know what I'm saying? Because this era is different, Steven. All Monique did was go up there and expose the truth and wanted to get justice. This is not no beef, comedy beef. You trying to say that they trying to start because they trying to get their careers back because they're washed up. But my whole thing is Katt Williams only came up there, Steven, and just exposed his truth. That's not a comedic beef. And you are still upset and you're still talking about it. But smash that like button because we are surviving Steve Harvey's mustache. And I'm about to give y'all the receipts. Shout out to Self-Talk. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sitting up. Oh, man. We are surviving Steve Harvey's mustache. Thank goodness the Self-Talk. I woke up and seen Steve Harvey's mustache on the screen, and I'm like, this man is still talking. Listen to what he got to say about Monique and Katt Williams.
Why people have such a problem with Katt Williams. People have a problem with people that says, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. And that causes a ruckus, and you would say, why are people upset with the truth? When you hear Steve Harvey say, there are repercussions when you tell the truth.
We can't come out here and do it any kind of way we want to. Let's up the money game. This ain't the black man's game. This ain't the white man's game. This is the money game. We in the money game. And you cannot sacrifice yourself. The best thing you can do for poor people is not be one. You cannot help them. We're in the money game. But let me tell you what.
And you try to tell Monique the best thing you could do for poor people is to not be one, Steven. So you sit there and try to tell Monique to sell her soul for a jelly roll. And she refused it. And she's going on tour with Katt Williams. And now you're salty. And now you're mad trying to say that they washed up. No, Steven. They are on fire right now, dude. And so is you. This is why you're still mad. You still talking about it, Steven. So if you wasn't upset, Why are you still complaining, saying that they washed up, trying to start some comedy beef? No, Stephen. All they did was tell the truth, and you know it.
The game is before the money game. Like before the money game is called the integrity game. And we've lost the integrity worrying about the money.
But Mo,
wait a minute.
If I crumble, my children crumble, my grandchildren crumble. I cannot, for the sake of my integrity, stand up here and let everybody that's counting on me crumble so I can make a statement.
Well, remember when we were children? What would your grandmother tell you?
Tell the truth.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? In today's video, we got Steve Harvey coming out and addressing Shannon Sharp Club Shay Shay interview. And as we can see in the intro clip, Steve Harvey was recently mentioned again by Monique in her interview with Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay. Can't forget Katt Williams also said some things about Steve Harvey as well in his interview with Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay.
The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business.
How is this starting comedy beef, Stephen? How is this starting comedy beef when all Katt Williams was doing was keeping it real and giving his truth? Now you talking about they trying to start a beef because they're washed up and they're just trying to get views and trying to get attention, Stephen. You only saying that because they going on tour and you're mad. Y'all got to smash that like button, guys. It's 1 o'clock in the morning and we are surviving Steve Harvey's mustache.
And it's a man unit. Then you ask it, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good over KB and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none.
So I just wanted to throw the Katt Williams clip in just in case if you guys have missed it because it's been over a month now since the Katt Williams interview had aired. But I would like to highlight what Steve Harvey had to say. And then after that, I'll be right back with some more commentary, guys. So let's check out this Steve Harvey clip. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Let's check out what Steve Harvey had to say.
Let's check out what Steve Harvey got to say.
And Katt Williams. Here's a video.
Well, you know, I got a couple of things that's on my mind. My closing remarks are going to be seem a little discombobulated, but I haven't really had time to put it together. It's just some thoughts that I've been having. I want to address what's being labeled as comedy beefs. Y'all, comedy was never designed to be this. Comedy is a great art form. It's always been for the best stand-ups to come into people's lives, homes, theaters, and provide just as hard a laughs as we possibly could. As a stand-up, has always been my only goal. This thing that's going around now about comedy beefs, it's only coming really from a few people. It's really not the overall thing. 85 South ain't beefing with nobody. And those are the youngest comedic giants out there. 85 South ain't beefing with nobody. You know, them cats come from the hip-hop culture. What you're seeing, man, in these comedy beefs are people who aren't where they used to be. And
so you trying to say that Katt Williams and Monique aren't where they used to be, and you're like above them, Stephen. This is what you're trying to say. So they're trying to start beefs because they're not where they used to be, Stephen. Katt Williams and Monique is on fire right now, sir. You know what I'm saying? And they're getting all the attention, and you're mad because they exposed your mustache and exposed your bald head. You know, when you used to have that cupcake on top of your head, Stephen, and you fooled us all, and we found out that it wasn't real, Stephen. You know what I'm saying? And now you're trying to say that they just trying to get attention because they're washed up. Now that you know they going on tour together and they just trying to get attention. This is crazy, guys. We are surviving Steve Harvey's mustache. Look at that mustache right there, taking up the whole screen.
what you're seeing, man, in these comedy beefs are people who aren't where they used to be. and all of a sudden are using this thing called comedy beefs as a way to get some light shined on them. That's not what comedy is, man. It's just not. I'm gonna tell you something. Now, I'm not saying any names, but let me explain something to you. I've been in comedy a long time. In my entire career, was there ever a question about who the headliner was? In my entire career. And on my contract, it said I have been headlining clearly since 1995.
So if you've been headlining since 1995, Stephen, and if you and your mustache has been headlining since 95, won't you get back on stage, Stephen? You still living in the past, Stephen. That's why you got that same mustache, because you living in the past. You know what I'm saying? And you're talking to a bunch of yes men right now, and you're trying to make it like Katt Williams and Monique is trying to start beefs because their career ain't where it used to be, Stephen. So you ain't gotta say no names. Your mustache is telling it all. Stephen! Surviving Steve Harvey's mustache.
Are people who aren't where they used to be, and all of a sudden are using this thing called comedy beefs as a way to get some light shined on them. That's not what comedy is, man. It's just not. I'm gonna tell you something. Now, I'm not saying any names, but let me explain something to you. I've been in comedy a long time. In my entire career, was there ever a question about who the headliner was? In my entire career. And on my contract, it said I have been headlining clearly since 1995. I have been headlining since 1995. The Kings, we switched up. Like if we went to Chicago, Bernie was closing. We went to St. Louis, Say it was closed. We went out to LA, DL closed. Whoever's hometown it was closed. But we always understood that. One night in Baltimore, Chris Tucker's movie had just came out. It was Fridays and something else that had came out. And my contract said I was a headliner in Baltimore. We got there, me and Chris was sitting up laughing. And the little new promoter, little boy had some money he ain't had no business having. He came in there and said, hey man, I want Chris Tucker to close this show. Chris Tucker had a problem with that. But we talked about it. I said, Chris, he could do what he wanted. I told him, just look, man, as long as you pay me my money, I don't care who goes. Chris Tucker came to me and asked me, hey man, just do me one favor, man. If you're gonna go up first and he got me closing, could you just keep it to 30 minutes? I did 28 minutes exactly. That was the only time in my career. And in my contract, though, I was the headliner. But this dude decided he liked Chris better. I don't care who it is. That was the only dispute. Look, man, it's known beforehand in the tickets, in the contract. There's no such thing as memos and all like that. You have a contract to sign. And that's who the headline is. And read the marquee when you get there. When you pull up at the front of the theater on the marquee, it'll tell you that too. It's all simple. So these beefs that people are having, it's always coming from somebody who ain't where they were.
See, you keep trying to say that. These beefs are coming from people that aren't where they were. What are you trying to say, Stephen? You're trying to say that Katt Williams ain't where he used to be. This is why he's bitter and he's starting the beef. No, Katt Williams told the truth that you stole Mark Curry's jokes. Surviving Steve Harvey stealing Mark Curry's jokes. You know what I'm saying? And Monique told the truth about you too. You told her to sell her soul literally right there on stage in front of us and said that forget the integrity. The worst thing that broke people could do is be broke with them. Stephen. And now you trying to say they washed up and they ain't where they used to be and they trying to start beef when they're about to go on tour, Stephen. You see that? I'm talking to your mustache, dude. I can't even sleep. I'm having nightmares of your mustache coming to get me, Stephen. Surviving Steve Harvey's mustache coming to get me at night.
So these beefs that people are having, it's always coming from somebody who ain't where they were. That's all I see in this. I just wanted to put that out there, man, for those of you that's not in the business. That's not how this works, man. It's just not how it works. Second thing I want to kind of address is what I see online oftentimes is people talking about that's karma. Every time something bad happened to a person, just for your little blog purposes or
You hear him trying to diss us, trying to diss the bloggers? That's how you know Steve Harvey is really arrogant. He talking about just for your little blogs. Why I gotta be a little blog, Steven? You got a big mustache. How would you feel if I said with your little mustache? Steven, I wouldn't even make up a lie like that because there's no way that I could say you got a little mustache. You know what I mean? Because then that'd be a bold-faced lie. That'll be a bald-faced lie. Y'all got to smash that like button. There's 500 people in the building at 1 o'clock in the morning, and we are surviving Steve Harvey's mustache. And now he coming at the bloggers. You know what I'm saying? Like it's our fault because we said it's your karma, Steven. You are facing your karma.
Times is people talking about that's karma. Every time something bad happened to a person, just for your little blog purposes or sensationalizing, you can't call it karma. Everything that happened in a person's life ain't karma. Sometimes it's just called life. It's just called life, man. And bad things happen to everybody in.
And if it's called life, Stephen, then stop complaining about Katt Williams' interview. Stop complaining about Monique's interview. If it wasn't true, Stephen, it's just life. Remember? Now let them go on tour. Since you think that they washed up and they trying to start beef to get views, and we're going to see who's the real deal. Stephen, surviving Steve Harvey, seeing what's the real deal.
Sometimes it's just called life. It's just called life, man. And bad things happen to everybody in life. It has nothing to do with karma. It's just like the course of a day. The sun don't shine all day long. There is a period called night. Even a day part has different parts. There's hours in the day. You can't, listen, man. Everything that happens to a person is not karma. And just cause you see something negative happening to a person, it ain't karma. It's called life. If you're grieving over the loss of someone, it ain't cause, there you go, that's karma. No, that's life. A person lose their job, that's life. Hey, hold on, the plant closed. That ain't karma. The plant closed. The plant had 1,000 employees. The plant closed. That ain't karma. That's life. A lot of stuff, y'all, is a test of your faith. There are things that are going to happen to you in your life that is going to prepare you for something else.
Well, nobody prepared your mustache for this, Stephen. Nobody prepared you that Monique and Katt Williams would team up and they will survive your mustache. And that's life, sir.
Learned in my life, and a minister taught this to me. Everything that happens to you is God preparing you for what you ask for. If you ask God for more strength, God gonna put some situations and some trials in front of you that requires you to be strong. If you're asking God for patience, God is gonna put some stuff in your path that makes you have to learn how to wait. That ain't karma. It's life. It's a test of your faith. Stop letting these people fool you with their little sensationalizing acts that every time something happened to a person, they gonna put a story and call it karma. It ain't karma. It's called life. And we all have to experience it. So please, man, be smart about this thing, y'all. And we have got to stop destroying one another. I don't know what it is about us, man.
Well, when Monique was asking you and your mustache for help, Stephen, and you was telling her to take it, where was your energy at far as trying to help her, since we have to help one another? Now you want to try to bring Michael in it. Rest in peace to Michael. But now you trying to turn into Michael, talking about heal the world, make it a better place for you and for my mustache and the entire human race. We have mustache crying, and if we care about for the living, we'll make a better face for you and mustache. Come on now. Now you want to heal the world, Stephen?
But I'm watching other cultures, and it just ain't happening. It ain't just happening. It ain't no white groups battling. It ain't no white comedians battling. It ain't no white superstars going at each other and attacking each other. It ain't no old washed up white acts going after the new acts. It ain't none of that. But we keep...
Listen, this ain't a black and white thing. This is a right and wrong thing, Stephen. And all Monique did was tell her truth, and so did Katt Williams. Now you trying to make it a race thing. Stephen, Surviving Steve Harvey's mustache, trying to bring race in it. No, they just kept it real, Stephen. And then you just don't understand. In this day and era, sir, that's how this world works. You want to stay stuck in the 60s. You want to stay stuck in the 40s. Stephen, the comedy game done changed, dude. It's not the same anymore. You know, it ain't the same, Stephen. And I'm talking to your mustache. You hear me, dude? I'm talking to your mustache. And Katt Williams and Monique is going on tour. You can call them washed up. You can make up all kinds of stories and try to bring the Lord in it. Whatever you want to do, Stephen. Nobody's buying it. Salute to the 700 people in the building. We are surviving Steve Harvey's mustache, and we're surviving his lying behind through his teeth.
Wait, that ain't karma. It's life. It's a test of your faith. Stop letting these people fool you with their little sensationalizing acts that every time something happened to a person, they're going to put a story and call it karma. It ain't karma. It's called life. And we all have to experience it. So please, man, be smart about this thing, y'all. And we have got to stop destroying one another. I don't know what it is about us, man, but I'm watching other cultures and it just ain't happening. It ain't just happening. It ain't no white groups battling. It ain't no white comedians battling. It ain't no white superstars going at each other and attacking each other. It ain't no old washed up white acts going after the new acts. It ain't none of that.
Look, you hear how he keeps saying it ain't, he said it ain't no old washed up white comics going after each other. He still keep calling Katt Williams washed up. He still keep calling Monique washed up. Who else is this man's mustache talking about, guys? Saying that they're out starting comedy beefs. It ain't a such thing as comedy beefs. It's not a comedy beef, Stephen. All they did was tell the truth, and it pissed you off to where you're still talking about it, Stephen. Did you take your diabetic medication? Because I know you're a diabetic, Stephen. If you're not a diabetic, your mustache is a diabetic. I'm telling you, your mustache got to be a diabetic because I'm a type 2 diabetic. I know a type 2 diabetic mustache when I see one, Stephen. You know what I mean? This is horrible, guys. Steve Harvey is upset because Monique and Katt Williams is joining forces, and now Mark Curry is out with Katt Williams, and they got the jokes, all the jokes that Steve Harvey supposed to stole from Mark Curry is all protected now, and he survived Steve Harvey's theft. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy, guys.
It ain't no old washed up white acts going after the new acts. It ain't none of that. But we keep filling our timelines with this stuff, man. We have got to do better, y'all. We need to turn around. Hey, man, we need to get back to God. We need to start praying more.
Okay, so that's what Steve Harvey had to say. He's pretty much just saying that there's only a few people in the comedy world that's causing this type of ruckus. And keep in mind, Monique announced yesterday that she is going on tour with Katt Williams now. I'm pretty sure Steve Harvey caught wind of that, and that's the reason why he wanted to give his comments, because he probably is looking at it like, wow, these people both mentioned me, and now all of a sudden they're going on tour together after having those explosive interviews on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay platform. So
y'all hear that, man? Shout out to Self Talk, man. Steve Harvey is mad because Monique and Katt Williams is going on tour. They're not washed up, Stephen. They are on fire. All they did was tell their truth. Instead of keep denying stuff, you know what I mean, and making up excuses, Stephen, you need to accept what you've done and move on. And if you claim that you was the headliner since the 80s and all of that, won't you come back? Get back on stage, Stephen. Are you too bougie? You know what I mean? You got too much money to come and show people that you still got it? I know you got a lot to talk about, Stephen. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be back tomorrow. This was a crazy episode of Surviving Steve Harvey's Mustache. Like and subscribe. And I'll talk to y'all later on in the afternoon. Surviving Steve Harvey's Mustache.